everyone, welcome to today's practice. Today's class is a class for lower back pain. So during pregnancy, we tend to shift our weight forward sometimes because we're trying to compensate for this extra weight that we have in the front for our baby. And sometimes this can cause lower back pain if we're not actively working on drawing the hips back and keeping that low back in line, because we'll start dumping the weight forward, which can cause all sorts of back issues, which can lead to other pain throughout our body. And so this practice is going to help alleviate some of that low back pain that we experience during pregnancy. So we'll get started by standing in a comfortable position. During pregnancy, I like to bring my feet wider than I normally would with that typical hip distance apart. I like to widen them. What this does is it allows me to find a little bit more balance in my stance. I'll ground down through my feet, bring our arms down by our side, and then soften the shoulders away from the ears. So you can do that by rolling the shoulders all the way up, all the way back, and all the way down to actively draw them away from the ears. Now once you find this standing pose, this Tadasana, start to ground into this space, lifting up the toes, lowering them down, reaching through the fingertips, and soften through the shoulders and close the eyes. And for a moment, bring your awareness to your feet, grounding into the space beneath you. The natural sway of the body and your normal stance, just noticing how the body gently shifts, lengthening through the crown of the head, lengthening through the sides of the ribs. Just notice your body in this space. And take a moment to connect to this body that you have, your baby, bringing your awareness, your gratitude to the space, to your body, to your baby, to everything that your body is doing in this very moment, just standing here. Our bodies are doing a lot of work behind the scenes when we're pregnant, so allow yourself to just find that gratitude for that. And then bring your awareness to your low back. Are you starting to dump the weight forward, causing that slight arch of the low back? Draw that low back in to find that length through the spine. And I'll say this a lot throughout our prenatal classes, but hug your baby in. So notice that when we engage the core during pregnancy, we're not doing what we normally do of tightening in the core. We're allowing ourselves to engage underneath those muscles, to really hug our baby in. And that helps us wrap that baby in so that we can tuck the tailbone under. So just bring your awareness to that space for a moment. Take 2 more breaths right here. And then slowly blink open the eyes. We'll inhale. Arms start to reach toward the sky. Big breath in. Soften through the shoulders. And on your exhale, we'll start to fold forward. Now throughout pregnancy, fold nice and deep into the knees. Reach the crown of the head forward as you fold. And we're not fully folding over our legs. So grab a hold of those blocks and place them underneath your hands. Find a nice wide stance with the feet to make room for baby. Big bend in the knees. And allow yourself to drape the upper body over the folded legs. Now see how that creates more space for baby between the legs rather than finding a compressive fold. We want to avoid tight folds during pregnancy and avoid deep compressive twists. So allow yourself to create more space here. Let's take a big breath in. Press down through the blocks. Crown of the head reaches forward. Ardha Uttanasana, lengthen through the spine. You can keep that lovely bend in the knees. And then slowly bringing our hands, grounding them to the block. We're going to keep that right foot forward and step that left leg back on your mat. Dropping the back knee down to the earth and untuck the back toes. Now from here, bring the blocks to the inside of that right foot. You can heel toe that right foot a little wider than you normally would in your low lunge. And from this space, bring your hands to your thigh. First, press yourself up. From here, you can stay right here. You could reach your arms toward the sky, lengthening through the fingertips and softening through the shoulders. Really notice that low back. Draw that tailbone down to protect the low back. Notice your belly, your baby, hugging that baby in toward the body, just noticing that space, really pressing down through that right heel. If your arms are lifted, take one more breath right here. And then lower the hands down to those blocks. We'll slowly step that right foot back, coming into a tabletop pose. So you can move the blocks off to the side, ground down through the palms, stack shoulders over wrists, hips over knees. Again, you can take a wider stance, so slightly wider than that hip distance apart. And in this space, just move the hips from side to side. 2 breaths right here. Big breaths in, big full breaths out. Slowly come back to that neutral tabletop pose. Take a big breath in, dropping the belly baby toward the earth. Crown of the head reaches toward the sky as you draw the heart forward, cat-cow. Exhale, round through the spine. Tuck the chin toward the chest. Press the ground away. Inhale, baby drops, heart draws forward. Exhale, round through the spine, chin tucks toward the chest. One more cat-cow. Inhale, belly baby drops, heart draws forward. Exhale, round through the spine. Coming back to that neutral tabletop pose. We'll walk our hands forward. Let's tuck the toes under and come into a downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Relieving that lower back pain. Take big bends into that one knee and the other, pedaling out the feet. Noticing how you feel in this space. You can move the hips a little side to side if that feels okay. And then downward facing dog in your pregnancy, you can allow your heels to lift a little higher than you normally would here. You can always invite a bend into the knees if that feels more comfortable in your legs, depending on where you're at. So notice your breath here in this space. 2 more breaths right here. Big breaths in. Big full breaths out. 1 more big breath in. Big full breath out. We'll slowly step the left foot to the top of our mat, to the outside of that left hand. So you can drop to your knees and step that foot up instead. This is a great variation throughout pregnancy to bring that leg up. Foot always steps a little wider to create more space for baby. Grabbing a hold of those blocks, finding that lunge on our left side. Hands come to the blocks, walking that back leg down, taking your time to really set up in the foundation of these poses. Back toes can be tucked or untucked, whatever feels most comfortable for you to find that stability during pregnancy. And then guide your hands to that thigh. Prop yourself up. Maybe you stay here. Notice your low back, drawing that tailbone under, and then reaching the arms toward the sky as an option. Lengthening through the fingertips, pressing down through that left foot. Big breaths in this space. Big full breaths out. 1 more big breath in here. And on your exhale, let's bring our hands down to those blocks. We'll tuck the back toes under. Start to lift the back knee and shake forward and back until you find that momentum, rocking front to back to step that right foot to the top of the mat. Blocks, walk forward, take that wide stance, big breath in, lift halfway. Big breath out, big bend in the knees, keep more space for the belly and roll down. Notice how I'm not close to my feet, I'm just allowing that upper body to lower. And then slowly, nice flat back, let's reach the arms toward the sky. And bring your hands to heart center. Slowly, arms come back down by your side. Find that Tadasana mountain pose, just like we did in the beginning. Notice the low back, drawing that tailbone under to correct the spine if you're dumping your weight forward during your pregnancy, and then arms reach down by your side. Close the eyes, big breath in, big full breath out. 1 more big breath in, big full breath out. We'll inhale, arms reach all the way toward the sky. Exhale, hands come to heart center. We're gonna take a nice wide stance on our mat. So if you're facing the top of your mat, just take a big step back. Doesn't matter which foot goes first because we'll move in this sequence from here. So in this nice wide stance, make sure your toes are aligned, your heels are aligned. We're going to move into warrior two on the right side first. So let's turn the right toes out. Find a nice big bend in that right leg, heels aligned with the mid-arch of that back foot. And take a moment to get settled in so you can bend and straighten into that front leg. Start to reach the arms out to a T. Always an option to grab a hold of your chair and hold onto your chair with that front arm to find that stability. And in this space, take a big breath in. Big full breath out. One more breath, just like that. Inhale here. Exhale, release, let it go. We'll grab a hold of our block so you can start to straighten into that front leg. Grab one block. We'll place it to the inside of that right foot. Start to find that big bend in that front leg. Arms reach out. Big breath in. Exhale, extended side angle. Start to hinge forward. Guide that right forearm down toward the thigh. Left arm can expand on overhead. This is a great place to stay right here, keeping the heart nice and open. Or if you have a deeper practice and you've practiced for a few years, you can bring your hand down to that block and reach that left arm on overhead. But take what feels best to keep your heart nice and open. Using the block as a nice prop or propping yourself up onto your thigh. One more breath. Inhale, come all the way back up. Guide your hands to your hips, straighten into that front leg, and turn the toes toward the front. So toes slightly in, heels slightly out, resetting the body. We'll move the block to that other side so that we can use it in a moment. Let's pivot the left toes to face the top of our mat. Big bend in that left leg. Start to find that powerful warrior two stance. Left knee stacks over that left ankle. Heel aligns with the mid-arch of that back foot, and arms reach out to a T. Take a big breath in here. Big full breath out. Notice your low back. Big breath in. Big full breath out. Finding our extended side angle. Start to hinge forward. Guide that left forearm down toward the thigh. Right arm can find that expansion. Lengthen through those right fingertips. Reaching all the way from the right fingertips down to the pinky toe edge side of that right foot. Now maybe you stay here. This is a great place to stay. Or grab a hold of that block and place it underneath that left hand. Again, this is for more experienced practitioners or if you feel a little bit more flexible in this side. But we don't want to dump into that side in order to reach that block. It's more important that we keep the length in both sides of the body. So wherever you are, let's take one more breath. And then slowly rise all the way back up using the side body to guide you. Guide your hands to your hips, straighten into that front leg, and turn the toes toward the top of the mat. One big breath in here. Big full breath out. Slowly, we'll step to the top of our mat, coming back to that mountain pose, Tadasana. Arms reach back down by your side. Big full breath in. Big full breath out. One more big breath in. Big full breath out. We'll slowly separate our feet nice and wide. We're gonna come into Malasana, a squat. So in this space, I love to use a block for this. It's a great alternative to coming fully into the squat. Face the toes out, heels slightly in. Start to bend into the knees. You can bring your hands down to the block to help guide you down, and we'll find this nice squat pose. Now, what you can do with the block is slide it under your seat on whatever setting feels most comfortable. Right now, I can put it on that lowest setting, but if you put it on the second setting, you'll bring yourself up more. Same with the highest setting. So just take it to what feels comfortable in your body in this space. Now, once you find that Malasana, that squat pose, bring your hands to heart center and breathe into this space. This hip opener can be a great space to alleviate some of that low back pressure. So let's take a few breaths here. Close your eyes. Big full breaths in. Big full breaths out. One more breath in this space. And then slowly guide your hands down to the earth. Lift up the sit bones. You can move that block off to the side, come all the way back up, and we'll make our way actually all the way down to our mat. So we'll come into a Supta Baddha Konasana, our reclined cobbler's pose with the props. So you can grab a hold of that bolster and 2 blocks here. If you don't have a bolster, blanket's fine. If you don't have those blocks, use those books. We'll set up 1 block on the highest setting and 1 block on the lowest setting. And then take that bolster or pillow and lean it against it. Now I like to press the top to make sure this top block isn't going to fall back when I lay down. So keep that like that. In pregnancy, we don't like to just lay back fully on our backs to protect our core so that we don't create that doming or coning that can happen throughout pregnancy. So bring yourself as close to the block as you can on your side, and then start to lean back on your side, and then we'll roll over from here to get into this pose. Now as you find your way onto your back, bring the feet together to touch, knees out toward the side, and start to lower your back into this space. You can guide your hands to your hips, you can bring your hands to baby, or you can bring your arms out by your side. If this feels like too much for the hips, you can place blankets underneath the knees to prop the legs up, 1 on each side, or towels or something that you can find in your house. Pausing here. Breathing into this space, into the low back. Few breaths right here. And slowly start to bring your hands to the earth. Take a moment to ground into the space. Guiding your knees back together, you can use your hands to assist. We'll roll over onto one side to exit our pose and press ourselves up to a comfortable seat. In these seated poses throughout pregnancy, I like to prop myself up onto a block, just creating a little more space. So place a block underneath you. Guide your hands to your thighs, soften through the shoulders, and close the eyes, finding the seat for the end of our practice today as you soften through the shoulders. As you close the eyes, bringing the gaze inward, come back to that sense of gratitude for everything that your body is doing behind the scenes right now with your baby, for this space, for the fact that you got up and moved today, did something for yourself. Take a few more breaths right here. Big full breaths in. Big full breaths out. slowly start to guide your hands to heart center, bowing your chin toward your chest. Take a moment to just thank yourself for finding time to practice today, to connect to yourself, to your baby, to your body. I thank you for letting me guide you through this practice today. It was, as always, my great and humble honor to guide you.